Hey everyone, it's Zach from AYTN, and today we're checking out whether or not the HTC One M7 and the iPhone 5S are still great options in the year of 2015. The tech that made these phones flagships in 2013 have become nearly standard. The fingerprint scanner on the iPhone 5S has made it into multiple devices, and the front-facing speakers on the One have made it into nearly every flagship Android device. The price of both of these phones has dropped drastically since they launched in 2013. Both can be had for around $200, which is right in the budget smartphone range. The iPhone 5S is available for $100 on contract from Verizon for 16 gigabytes, and the HTC One is available on Amazon refurbished for 32 gigabytes for a total price of $334. This is still a better deal than the Moto G, which is $180 for 8 gigabytes of storage. You get better phones with better screens and better cameras for a little bit more. So now let's see how these phones hold up in the very demanding year of 2015. Smartphones these days have to do everything. They need to be able to deliver immediate experience, and that means music, videos, and games. This is where the HTC comes into its own with a 4.7-inch 1080p LCD display and stereo boom sound speakers. This phone is amazing. The display is nice and bright and very vibrant. This display is more about being an eye pleaser than it is about being accurate. I noticed skin tones sometimes took on an orange color, and other colors look slightly oversaturated. The display is absolutely excellent and has nice viewing angles. The iPhone 5S, on the other hand, is slightly smaller and only has a 4.7-inch display. The movie watching experience isn't quite as solid. However, the display is very accurate and colors look spot on. They weren't oversaturated. Games are also important in this area, and this is where the iPhone really edges out. Due to a slightly more powerful processor, the games played noticeably smoother and had less lag. Games on the iPhone also launched faster compared to the HTC. As we can see in this Geekbench test, the iPhone 5S will come out as a clear winner. The numbers really show how much detail Apple put into that A7 chip. Smartphones nowadays also need to be productivity machines, and that means typing documents, emails, and sometimes editing PowerPoints. Again, this is where the iPhone comes into its own. It's a productivity powerhouse with that A7 chip and its productivity apps such as Pages, Keynote, and iMovie. With iOS 8 and Handover, this lets you pick up tasks that you started on your Mac and finish it on your iPhone. That means you never have to pause if you have to finish a document or finish typing out a text when you leave. The HTC also has Google Docs, which lets you edit documents the same as you would on an iPhone. However, the experience wasn't quite as good, and the apps weren't as feature-rich. I also noticed that the HTC's keyboard also kind of let it down here. The keyboard just isn't as accurate as it is on the iPhone 5S. Smartphones also need to be a master of social media, and that means keeping you connected. Here, camera quality is really important. The cameras on the iPhone 5S are leaps and bounds ahead of the ones on the HTC. The 5S has an 8 megapixel shooter compared to 4 megapixels on the One. The One has what they call ultra pixels, which are larger pixels that will capture more light in low light situations. The ultra pixels worked with varying success, and shots were sort of hit or miss. They generally had more noise than the 5S and overly sharp. The megapixels you can't zoom nearly as close, and the iPhone 5S wins in with front cameras as well. The images were sharper and less saturated, and this is a testament to the image signal processing on the 5S. However, if you do a lot of Facebook messaging, you might like the chat heads feature on the HTC One. This is where a little chat head will pop up and float around on the screen that lets you quick reply. In the end, both phones are still able to hold their own in the very competitive smartphone environment of 2015, and both are great options for somebody who's on a budget. That's it for our video. If you liked it, hit that like button. Thanks for watching.